I'm making this video while it's still fresh in my mind, and I don't justify myself. I'm just going to tell you the truth, so you know. I was just fired from substitute teaching after some students asked me for my social media, and I gave it to them. I said, keep this quiet. It was a weightlifting class, and they had wanted to play Wii, and I said, you can, but I want to make sure that you know what you're doing first, so show me that you know what you're doing. And we talked about what I know in my bodybuilding, and I said, I'm not licensed, I'm not an expert, but this is what I know, and this is who I learned it from. And they said, well, what's your Instagram? We want to know. And so I showed them that Instagram. I said, keep it quiet. Don't share this, a lot anyway. I need to be able to do my job without being a big celebrity. These are the videos on my Instagram account where I learned these from a bodybuilding trainer. What we talked about today, this is the guy I learned it from. And under those circumstances, I gave him the Instagram account. And maybe that's wrong. And maybe I deserve to be fired. I don't know. That's what happened. I will tell you, I have very much enjoyed working with principals and administrators. I have enjoyed candid conversations. And I have very much enjoyed students teaching me what's happening in America, because I was out of the country 15 years. I don't know. I was in a completely different culture. I have English students in Taiwan, some of them 7 years old. They know about my social media, and there's never a problem. Their parents know and follow me, and we've never had a problem. There's nothing on any of my accounts. I have very few rules violations. Once on TikTok, I had a video banned, which was allowed on Instagram, but it was when my friend Jiayan, he overdid himself and he fell down and he hit the ground and bounced. And TikTok blocked that video. That's what I've done that's against the rules. So I was also told in the meeting by one of the people, do not respond to any of our high school students on social media. If you do, we will report you to law enforcement. I typically don't respond anyway. And they even said, like, that's predator stuff. For a lot of people, in truth, it can be. Their concern is valid. I don't try to engage people like that anyway. I try to keep it professional. I learned that from Lin Jiayan. When people from the public reach out to you, you don't always have to answer. Maybe at most be cordial. Maybe give a thumbs up to be positive, but that's it. One of the other things that they said in the meeting, I said, yesterday, the student didn't complain. Someone else reported that you called a student fro boy. And this was a student, happens to be African American, and he had an afro, and he was talking with his friends, and it was in good cheer, and it was happy, and it was friendly. And he was joking with me happily in the hallway the next day. He called me to talk, and I said, hi. Another student from that class approached me this morning and said, thank you so much for having lighthearted, good-humored jokes about these topics that normally we fight about. Thank you for bringing sunshine into them. This student sought me out and told me this morning. But one other person not involved complained, and that means I'm racially insensitive, according to the people. All right. I already have another job lined up, and I can talk about that later. I did tell my new boss, they fired me from my old job because I shared social media. Well, at the new job, they share social media all the time. It's not a problem. They told me that they don't think I should ever do substitute teaching again, ever. I think that means like for the rest of my life or something. They might say for 10 years, but they just said ever. And it seemed like they wanted to be angry with me. I did apologize, and they were grateful, that's good. They said they were going to write that in their report, that I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do substitute teaching. They'll say bad things about me. I won't say bad things about them. It was the leaders of the school. I don't have bad things to say about them. Those leaders are professional, and they've always been professional with me. And I only have good things to say about them. I think that their opinion is professional. And I kind of wish I could do better. I don't know if I've got a problem, but I pray. And all day, I thought that Jesus was telling me, just be really nice and be really respectful. And I was. So, to everyone in the world, I'm sorry for being a bad example and that I was fired. I guess you can't please all the people all the time. There's always going to be someone upset, and there's always a line of work that you can't do. So I'm sorry for being a bad example to anybody by being fired from anything. We don't want to get fired. That's not something to celebrate. I do think, I need to do good things outside of public education. That's a very nice way of what they said, kind of in an angry way. No job can do all things in the world. The pastor can't be the president, and vice versa. We've got to focus. I think it was in Israel, the king tried to do the job of the priest, and they have to be separate jobs. So I think we're at a place where public education is so politically correct and it's so institutionalized. You cannot take bad topics and make them good, because the topic itself is forbidden, because bad is the only way society knows it. And if you try to take that bad topic and make it good, well, you get fired for talking about a bad topic. It's like, we made it good. No, it's a bad topic. And that's what the system tells people. And it seems that a lot of people who succeed in education, like they work there 20, 30, 50 years, they seem to think that these values in the education system never take a bad topic and make it good. It's a bad topic. It's permanently bad. We stay away from it. Trying to make it good is insensitive. They see that as their personal values for all things. And if you don't agree with those people who work in education for 30, 50 years, then they think that you're like kind of unethical or something. And I again, I only have good things to say about those people. They're really great people. I've had great leaders in education, and I'm only thankful. Now, another one of my teachers, recently I had lunch with him from when I was in high school. He said, I think he said ball exercise. He's like, that's nonsense. They should treat you better. But that was about a different related topic. So no, I had people asking me for my social media probably for the last 3 or 4 months. And I always said, no. And today I said, okay, because you guys are doing weightlifting and there's some videos that do bodybuilding stuff, I will show you this, but don't go make a mess. And, I think I was fired within like 30 minutes. So that's the story. And I'm going to try to make a difference outside of public education. I thought that I could inside, but the elevator goes only so high. It doesn't go to the top floor in public education. So God love those people. God bless them. I'm going to try to lift elsewhere.